3, 2, 1, and action. Welcome to Lift Club, guys. I hope you're all good. Who's actually been before? Even John looks a little bit nervous. He's just got his hat on so he can't see. Keep a low profile. Yeah, that's what Dell does sometimes. Sometimes there's check-ins on with his hat on. I'm like, how do you even see his face on the screen? But yeah, welcome to Lift Club. It's so nice to see like there's quite a lot of new faces, but it's going to be really good fun today because we're going to run it like a little bit differently. Normally we kind of have time for like 2 exercises, but because there's less of you today, we've got 2 people to a rack. We can probably smash through like all 3 of the exercises. So I'm going to run the format slightly differently. What I'm going to waffle on about today is actually probably more demonstration type things. When I've been talking to you guys throughout the week, and I try and always base everything we go through on like what you're saying, a lot of the things that I have been hearing this last couple of weeks is, well, what if I don't get up? And what do you think that applies to? Squats. Squats, absolutely.
Not in the bedroom.
Oh my God.
I'm here all week.
Oh dear, he's on his own next week, so he's going to be unruly. Yeah, so we're talking about squats. We're not talking about any other sexual innuendos. And that's kind of like a real common one, isn't it? Because we're saying to you, we want you to push depth. We want you to push depth. We want you to get deeper. And you're going to go in, well, what if I don't get back up again? So we're going to actually talk through like the benefits of that depth, why we want you to go there, but also what happens if you actually can't get back up and how do you fail safely. Then we're going to go through exactly the same thing with bench. Like, what's your common fear with bench? I'm going to be fucking trapped underneath the bar and nobody's going to save me and I'm going to look like a tit. So we're going to go through that, like how to set up for bench, how to bench safely, and also like the racks here are actually different to what you'd have in the gym. And we're going to talk through the differences of actually, well, how do we make you safe when there is actually no safeties at all to save you? And then the final one that we're going to go through is actually your deadlift, because we can protect you so much, but actually if your attention isn't 100% drilled in, or you are, for us women, certain times in the month, we can be a little bit more relaxed. And actually sometimes if you're just not present, not paying attention, it is easy to hurt yourself on a deadlift if you are not doing it properly. So if that moment happens and you are like, oh, fucking hell, me back or me shoulder or something, me hamstring goes, what should you actually do? Because I've definitely seen a few of you carry on lifting. So it's actually what happens in that moment to protect you. So we're going to go through all of that. I'm going to go through demonstrations for each 3 of the exercises at the beginning. So you can basically go at your own pace today. Yeah, because there's a few of, I know Sue wants to go early. I know you'll go quite quickly. Graham will still be here at 5 o'clock. Warming up. Oh God, it's that, what is it, the pure gym environment, isn't it? It's very social. Yeah. I know, literally. Stu, you've got to keep him in check today. You've got to hold the reins. You've got to hold the reins and keep him in check. So let's actually kick off with squats then. So we're going to go through common fears first, and then we're going to demo the actual squat and how we'd like it to look, and then we're going to go through doing it safely. So what are the other fears that you guys have with a squat? Excuse me. Fears. So I can't get back up. What else?
Tweaking your back.
Tweaking your back. What else? Hurting your knees. What else?
Doing a little bit of wee-wee right at the bottom.
Doing a little bit of wee-wee right at the bottom. What else? John's like, oh God, I've not been in this environment before. What else? Come on, guys, what do you worry about, squats?
Balance.
Balance. Carl, fucking trying to, way! I'm going for it! The Titanic, we're going to call it. Yeah, like tipping forward, being off balance. What else? Mandy, you've got anything you worry? Sorry? Positioning on the back. Bar hurts the top of my neck. Like, fucking hell, I work in an office. I've got office hands. This shit hurts. Anything else at all?
I haven't been telling them.
Keyboard warriors. Anything else that you guys worry about? No? Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do first is I want to talk through, I've done a lot of firsts today. We're going to talk through why we are like depth Hitler. Like we are fucking Hitler. We're coming for you on that depth. Why? Can we close that door, please? Sorry. To get your confidence. Why else? Makes you stronger. Do you know why it makes you stronger? Yeah, absolutely. So if you're working to like a full range, you're going to be working the muscle at its biggest stretch, yeah? So when we're only doing half of a movement, we're not actually using the maximum amount of our muscle. So when we're using a bigger range, we're using a bigger amount of our muscle to actually do that exercise. Why else do we want you to hit depth? Think about your future self.
Getting out of a chair.
Getting out of a chair, getting off the toilet, being able to walk up and down the stairs, like all of those things that are going to give you longevity. And every single time that you turn around and tell me you can't do it, it's probably for 3 reasons. Number 1, it's a confidence thing. Number 2, it's the fact that your body just hasn't got that range of movement yet. So we need to build up that movement pattern and build confidence with it. And number 3, you actually just are absolutely terrified that you won't get back up. So let's actually talk through that and what we do. So when we program a box squat for you and when we go through like a ball squat, we're not just doing it for the sake of doing it so that the ball can kind of be here and you can just, there's air, there's daylight. It's not for that reason. It's for you to actually touch it, to build the confidence that that's where you need to be. What that then going to do is it's going to build a movement pattern within your body, which is going to create muscle memory, which is then going to mean that your body knows, that's the point that I need to get to. And then eventually when we remove the stabilizer, you'll be able to do it without it. So who's on the ball? Who's in box jail at the minute? Quite a few of you still are. Yeah. And what's your honest fears around like that box and the depth point? So you know getting low enough, yeah.
I quite like it because it feels like a bit of a safety net in itself.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. Any other reasons? Yeah, exactly. So, but that's a restriction that you have. But also Elaine's got very long limbs. So sorry guys, long-limbed friends, you guys are, I'm not going to say you're at a disadvantage, but you've got a lot further to travel because you have to hinge this way and then you have to go down. Somebody like me, if I take my little platform Crocs off, hi guys, I'm actually really dumpy. Like I've got really dumpy legs and a long torso. So I actually find all of this quite easy. Do you know what I mean? I just have very granny hips. So if we're talking about limitations, Dale's going to go through warm-up and stuff with you in a minute for like, you could even throw in some hip mobility stuff as well. Let's actually talk through your squat. So, glamorous assistant, please. Okay, so why is he taking off his shoes? Who knows? So he doesn't tip forward. Come in here with me. So the reason that Derek's don't dare touch them. So the reason that Derek's actually taken off his shoes is because he wants to be a bit taller with these guys, doesn't he? Clearly. But he wants to be a bit taller. But actually, with these type of shoes, if you look at the position of the shoe, when he then squats, could you just put them back on for me, babe? When he then squats, his foot rolls forward. So look at how much, he's literally like walking around like this, like clouds. Yeah, literally. So when you actually squat, if you do a squat for me now, look at what happens with the position in his foot. He's actually, yeah, I know, when he sits there, he then rocks forward and then he sits backwards onto the shoes. Hamstring, all right, mate? So he's actually taken them off. So when we're actually lifting, we don't want to be wearing like running trainers and stuff. We want to be wearing something that's like flat-footed, Converse, Vans. You could like Jordan's Dunks, Metcon type shoes like you've got on Sue, because they're actually flat-soled and they've not got a lot of support in. Stu loves a fucking bouncy sole as well. Okay, so when we're actually demoing our squat then, what we're looking for, we're just going to go down to the ball first because you just go way too low. Yeah. So what we're actually looking for, if you have the ball there, and then I'll come this side of you. So what we're actually looking for, who's gone for this? I would actually argue that when you guys are squatting and body weight, I would put your hands here on the back of your head. The reason I don't really actually want you to do this is because we're trying to fix your postures. You're all either at your desk or you're scrolling or you're doing whatever and you're like this the whole day. So if we open you up through your chest, if you naturally just roll the shoulders backwards now, pull the arms down the body, and you feel that pinch underneath your armpits, that is the first thing for you correcting your posture. Carl's like, fucking hell. Stress position. At work, he's like this. So we want to open up through that posture. And then the next thing we're going to do, and Dale's going to go through brace in a little bit more detail, but we want to hold that tummy in, and he's going to go through that brace. So when he's actually doing his squat, he's going to take a breath in at the top, and then he's going to open up through the hips. Tap the ball, but he's going to wait there, and then he's going to drive out, opening up through the knees. So you notice his tempo on the way down. Go again. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2. Yeah? So he's actually slowed and controlled that movement the whole way down, even though this is a piece of piss for him and he could probably do it with his eyes closed. But he's still generating tension within his body. He's not just going, seeing what else is going on. He's actually being present in that moment and doing that movement. So with the common things that will go wrong within your squats today, number one is this, okay? It's like this, the knees are wobbling. So your cue to fix that is basically, come here again for me, babe. So you just literally want to open up through your knees and your hips. So you're actively doing that, okay? Can you all just stand up for me and do that now? Yeah? So when you're in that position and you've opened up, what I want you to do is, where do you now feel that when you open up through your hips? Immediately you're feeling that in your glutes and your butt, yeah? And even on the way back out, you want to open up through those through those knees. And that's then going to stop this from happening, and you're going to use more glute, which will hopefully you ladies want. Gents, you might want it as well. So that's the first thing. The second thing is obviously when you're going to tip forward, which is what we were speaking about over here. So first things first, obviously you want to have that flat foot. The second thing is you want to be actively pushing through your whole foot, including your heel, okay? That then is going to keep you upright because your center of gravity is through the midline of the body. So when you're then going to go down, but do you see how when Dale did that then, sorry, I'm going to correct you. So you see how Dale did that then? A lot of you actually do that. Just before you start squatting, you start fucking doing tippy-tappy toes. And you're off balancing yourself to begin with. So you want to make sure that when you start, you're really stable. The feet are grounded and you're then going to start that squat. So go again, toes on the floor. Oh! And then when he comes back up, notice that his head, a little bit up there. He's actually pulled him by his hair. Notice that he's not looking directly down to the floor. He's gazing forward. It's probably a bit awkward for him at the minute because he's trying not to look at Beck. But he's gazing forward. He's not looking down here and he's not looking up here. He's just neutral. And what that is going to do, if you're doing this, what happens with the chest? Well, mine does. My hair pulls me forward. But you're going to go down, like, automatically. If I'm in this position, I'm fucking nosediving. Whereas actually, if I'm just gazing forward and I'm here, my torso's up, my chest is up, and I'm pulling my elbows down into my back pockets. So I'm pulling that bar down into my back pockets here, yeah? Everybody happy with that? That's a lot more detail that I've gone into before. So let's actually talk about failing a squat and actually how to do that safely. Okay, we just make sure that's following me again, please, babe, and I'll move the ball and stuff out the way. Oh. I took him out of view. Bobby, Graham, can I borrow you, please? Graham's chatting again. He's not noticed. Look at him. It's like the naughty kid in the school. Can I borrow you, please? Okay, so guys, when you're working today and you're working up to your heavier sets, when we get there, ask for Del and I or somebody else who's around who's possibly resting to spot you. The benefits of having a spotter in this place is to keep you safe, okay? And Graham's going to show us what spotting looks like, and he's going to clear the area first. He's going to clear the area, and Bobby's going to do it on this side, okay? So when they're spotting, what they're going to do is they're going to take hold of the bar in this position here, if you show them. Yeah, that's it. And they also want to slightly, because obviously Graham's a lot smaller than Bobby. Graham's bigger than Bobby, sorry. Just damaged Graham's ego. But notice how with Bobby, she's actually got her shoulder underneath the bar. And the reason she's got that is so she's got that added support if she needs to then move the bar in. So what Dale's going to do, you can relax, guys. What Dale's going to do now is set himself up. So when he's setting himself up underneath the bar, he's going to line his hands up first. Oh, look at him demoing this so well. He's then going to duck underneath and place both feet directly underneath the bar. This is really important, guys. If you are lifting off with 1 foot like that and 1 foot like that, you're dumping into your lower back. Okay, look at my spine is out of alignment if I do that. Sorry. So if you actually just notice where the bar position is, this is for you, John, and everybody else who the bar hurts. Don't lift off for a second, relax. Move down. So when your bar position is here, you've obviously got the top of your spine and your neck here, haven't you? And what that does is it's pressing on the top of your bone. So you notice how with Dale, he's lowered that and it's actually sitting on the top of his traps and the fleshy part of his back, okay? And what that then is doing is it's the flesh it's leaning on. So when we set you up, we'll check where the position is and we'll have a look. So what he's gonna do now, he's gonna take a big breath in and brace, and he's gonna stand up. And then what he's not gonna do is run backwards across the gym, okay? He's just gonna take one step and another step. So what your spotters are doing, as you can see, they have got full attention on Dale, okay? And they are literally watching exactly what he's doing. So as Dale starts to squat, he's communicated with his spotters first how many reps he's actually doing, hopefully. He's gonna do 3. So he's gonna do 3. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna brace into the core, which we'll go into a second. He's gonna open up, and then he's basically gonna do his 3 reps, and the spotters are gonna follow him up and down. Ready? Let's go. Nice. Okay, pause for a minute. On the second rep, Dale's going to pretend that he can't do it. You're not going to dump the bar this time. What he's then going to do is he's probably going to make a noise or something because he's in a bit of distress. And what Graham and Bobby are going to do is they're not going to take the bar off of him. Dale and his spotters are going to walk the bar straight into the gym, into the rack. Okay, so it's safe. Ready? Wonder what noise he's going to make.
No, too early.
And then everybody walks in. Okay, so that's how to spot safely. You did. Oh, God. Dale loves that sympathy because he does not get that at home. So that's how he's going to fail with spotters. You guys can take a seat now. Thank you so much. So if he's not got spotters, in the gym, some gyms will have safeties like this that will basically, I don't even know if these fit in these racks. They do. I remember when we were doing it before and they didn't fit. No, they don't. But one would sit here and one would sit here. And you would basically, if you just do a bodyweight squat, and you would basically set that up just a little bit lower than his shoulder. So if he needed to throw the bar backwards, it would just basically land on these. Okay, so that's the second one. So if you've got absolutely nothing and you are, I hate this phrase, but I can't think of another term for it. Raw dogging it. It's so cringe, it's disgusting, but I couldn't think of another word. If you are literally on your own and you're in the gym, Dale's going to show you how you actually bail the bar safely, okay? So he's probably only got 1 or 2 of these in him because of his hamstring. So what would effectively happen, the most important things, the bar does not go over your neck in any circumstance, shape or form. You are always bailing backwards, okay? So you're letting go of the bar. Do not keep hold of the bar. The bar needs to travel backwards. And all that's going to happen is you're going to go forwards and the bar is going to go backwards, and he's going to show us now, okay? Over to you. How's the tension feel in the room? That's all right, Dale, we've got you. So do a normal rep and then do 3/4 of your second rep. Okay? Would you like to see that again, or are you happy with one attempt? Looks really scary, right? But do you see how...
I'll show another one where you're almost sitting down. Different.
Okay.
Most people do stuff at the bottom, not halfway up.
There's tension in the room. So either way, you're probably going to end up sat on your bottom, okay? But it's safer than being sat on the floor. The final way is if you're in a gym environment and you can sit there. I have sat in a squat for at least 30 seconds, gone, excuse me, can somebody help me, please? Because I'm just there and I'm in the bottom of the hole and I'm like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? It's got metal plates on. That's your last option, okay? But you are not on your own failing a lift. The second thing we're going to talk about in a bit, but you should never be at a point in your training when you're training on your own that you are going to need to fail, because your big lifts, your compound lifts, you're only working really until the end of the training block at 80, 90% maximum at the end of the training block. Shouldn't really need to be going to failure. Carlos. And also throughout that training block, you're going to build yourself up to get to that point. Cool. Any questions on squats? No. Should we move on to bench? Cool. Talk amongst yourselves. How high do you need this? Was that helpful or not? Yeah? Is that too high? Is 10's okay, or do you want an empty bar? Okay, questions on bench. Fears on bench is obviously, am I going to get stuck? Would you just face trap me again, please? Yeah, fears are just going to be, am I wonky, Bobby?
Yeah. Yeah, you've got this side. It's one up.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As you were.
Thank you so much. You're so kind. So fears with bench is obviously number one. Am I going to be able to push it back up? Any others, really? Injury, shoulder. Okay, so we're going to go through that. Any others? No? Yeah. Okay, so what are your queries or your questions or your concerns with setting up? Who's kind of like, what the fuck am I doing still? Nobody? Gemma, don't worry, I've got you. So you struggle with your stability. Okay, fine. So when we're bench pressing, Derek's going to just show us a bodybuilder bench, which he's very good at, and more of a powerlifting style bench. So just like a flat bench where you're flat on the floor and you're flaring your elbows, and then more a second one where you're stable. So I'll go through bar positioning in a second, but is this a bodybuilder bench? You look quite stable. A little bit less, there we go. Okay, so notice how Derek's elbows are kind of coming out a little bit here. So basically he's gonna be burnt out soon. He's got, just pause for me, pause there. Right, so when he's here, he's not really very stable at all. He's got a lot of movement in him there. Whereas when he then press up, when he then tucks in, so he's just going to wiggle himself around a bit. Notice how when he's tucked in, his rib cage has lifted, okay? Chest is lifted, he's tucked his shoulder blades together and down, okay? And now when he presses, look at his elbow position has totally changed. His elbow position has gone from being here, Stu, to here. And what that's going to do in the long run is it's going to give us more stability and it's going to give us a better position. So you obviously notice or might have seen, like me, I've got quite a big arch. Like, I'm not expecting you guys to be doing that, but what I am expecting, you can pop that down now, darling. What I am expecting is a little, stay there. What I am expecting is a little bit of an arch. So how we're going to find that is arms out in front. And I want you just to do this with the person who sat next to you. So I'm, so much joy here. I'm just going to stick my knee into Derek's back and do that. And notice how when I've done that, look what happens to his chest, his shoulders, and his back come down. So look again. So go relax. That's it. Now arms out. And then again, ready? So knee goes into the back. And what that does is he's drawn his shoulders back and down. So they've come down into this position here. His chest is lifted and he's got a small arch in his back. That arch is totally safe because you're going to be bracing into your core. And that's where we're going to create that stability. So we've gone from exposing ourselves, you can relax. We've gone here from exposing ourselves to a shoulder injury with flary elbows to locking in. And when we're locked in, this elbow can't really go anywhere because we're stabilizing through these massive lats that you've got. You've all got massive lats, okay? In comparison to these little shoulder muscles, okay? John's laughing. Your lats are massive, mate. So that then gives us more stability. So let's talk through setting up on the bench. Does anybody have any questions before I move on? Yeah, okay. So you just basically, you see the big weight plates, just get little weight plates and put them underneath your feet. And then you can press down into the floor rather than coming up onto your toes. Excuse me. Literally like that. We want your feet to be pressed into the floor. The reason being is because if you come up onto your toes, the next thing that happens is your bum lifts up. And when your bum lifts up, where are you dumping the energy into? Your lower back. And we're constantly trying to protect that lower back. So we're okay with a little bit of an arch because we're bracing into our tummy. But the second that we do this, and the bum actually lifts, you're actually creating that curve through the spine. So what Dale's going to do now is he's going to show you actually how to set up on the bench. So with any gym and most gyms, you're going to have these J hooks. So that's the first thing. When you first start, you are going to clip a J hook at some point and you're going to be like, oh, bloody hell. So when you're setting yourself up in the gym, you want to lay down. You want to have your eye line level with the bar. Okay, so naturally, if Derek's eye line's level with the bar, his touch point's going to be about here because it's going to give him a bit. Well, fucking his torso's not that long, but it's going to give him a big foot. Is this a foot? Foot and a half. Man foot or female foot? Perfect. So when he unracks, he's going to brace into the core. Okay, and he's going to lift up. Stop when you lift up, and then he's going to pull the bar forward. So the bar isn't in the rack still. So what I tend to see, do you want to just rest a second? What I tend to see is you lift the bar up and it's still over your face. And you're like, what are you going to do? Press it onto your face? So we need to pull that bar forward because our touch point, ladies and guys, needs to be around nipple line. Yes, ladies, your boobs are still up here. Around your nipple line or like bottom just below your chest and your pec, okay? And what that's going to do is it's going to mean that position here is better and more optimal. If we're pressing like this, we're pressing into our face and our neck, which is what we actually want to avoid. So if he's going to brace into the core and he's going to lift up and pull forward. Then he's going to let that breath out and then he's going to brace again. Okay? Yeah. And you see the speed in which he's doing this. He's going 3, 3, 2, 1, press, okay? So he's got control of the bar, he's got control of the movement. And as he's bracing, he's drawing his shoulder blades back and down. So he's not just bracing into his tummy, he's drawing them down as well, okay? One more. And then when he finishes, he's not just going to search for the rack and throw the bar backwards. He's actually going to finish his rep and then he's just going to throw it back like that. I don't want to see you guys lifting out and starting your press. I want you to stop because that's then going to give you more stability, okay? Any questions on that at all? No. So safeties with spotting. So if you are spotting and you've got somebody to spot you, here you go, babe, in you go again. You're just literally going to go one hand one way, one hand the other to lift them up. You don't want to lift the weight for them. The lifter is taking 70% of the weight. You are just that little helping hand to get them out of the rack, okay? 3, 2, 1. And then he's going to say,
my bar.
Yeah, and then I'm gone. If you are really, really nervous, you can have your spotter just following you down. Yeah? Okay, just don't interfere with what they're doing. And then if he's then struggling, ready? He is not going to let go of that bar. He's going to press with me, and then he's going to throw back into rack. Okay, you are not, as the lifter, please do not dump that load on your spotter, okay? Next one is obviously you've got your side, similar to squat, which would just literally be like this. And then the final one, if you are in the gym and you are on your own and you are worried about a lift, take the clips off, okay? And then Dale's going to demo failing a lift with the clips not on. I just want to talk through the neck and where to fail to as well. So before you fail. So if he's then going to fail, one thing he's not going to do is he's not going to let that bar roll backwards because of his neck, okay? If you are, come up again. And if you are going to fail, you need to roll the bar forward. So he's going to fail on the next one and he's stuck there. So he's just going to roll it forward and he's going to slide. Oh, where's he going? He's going to slide to the left. Oh, okay, cool. So 9 times out of 10, my girls ain't going to do that. You're going to be stuck forever. So we've taken the clips off so we can slide the plates off the side. So that's one way. Do you want to show that again? He's gone rogue.
I'm going to show how to drop the plates off now, yeah?
Yeah.
So you can't press it up, so you just...
1, 2, and then hopefully you can press that bar. Oh. Or you can do a 360 and start doing parkour. We communicate well sometimes. Any questions on that at all? So the bar needs to roll down. You don't put your clips on. 1, 2. Obviously, with these bumper plates, a little bit harder. With these little 2, 5, 10 kilo metal plates, they'll slide straight off the sides. Yeah? Any questions at all, guys? Any questions on setup for bench? No, I'm going to come and help you. Mm-hmm. They have a squat rack though, right? You're at Nuffield, bench in the squat rack. And then you can change the heights for you. You just got to be greedy. You've got to be greedy with it, Sue. Yeah, that's what I'd say, bench in the squat rack. I hate benching in a normal bench, like a bodybuilding gym bench, because the low setting's too low. I can't actually unrack it. And the high setting's too high, it pulls me out of position. So I would always just squat in a rack. Just pull the bench over and just set yourself up in there. Any other questions at all on bench? How high should it be? So if you look at Dale's setting here, you want to be able to, hopefully I've set this up right for him. So when he unracks, so just lift up, you want to be able to have enough so that you've got a clearance of the hook, probably by about 1 inch. You do not want to be lifting it like, we're here again, this much, me foots, this much out of the rack, because it's putting extra pressure on your shoulder in a position that it isn't actually as strong as it could be, okay? And if you're lifting heavy loads and you want to ask somebody in the gym to spot you, do not assume that that person knows how to spot. Like, you need to be really clear with your instructions because, well, you're then annoyed because they've not spotted you how you wanted them to. Well, they don't know how to spot you. So if I was giving a spotter instructions, it would be to, I want you to help me unrack it, but don't take much of the weight. Just guide me out. And then tell me when I'll tell you when I want you to let go of the bar. Do not take the bar off of me or touch the bar unless I'm squawking because I'm trapped underneath it. Because you don't want somebody to try and finish your rep for you when you're actually just a slow bencher. I'm a slow bencher. So, and then you just say, could you just help me put it back in? So you just want to be really crystal clear on what you're asking that person to do. You might actually want somebody over the top of you. I mean, I hate it when somebody's over the top of me. I'm like, what are you doing? Your fucking testicles are in my eyes. Like, move. I'm like, just move out of the way. No, even with Dell, I'm like, can you just move backwards, please? Sorry.
He comes flying out the rack as well. I just let it do a thing.
I'm going for the head, but especially with big bun. But that's bench. Any questions? Was that helpful? Yeah? So with demoing the setup, will you just lower this down a little bit? I'm just going to show you in terms of like with your actual body, what is happening with your shoulders, because Dale's got quite a big t-shirt on, you're basically just doing this and then you're doing that. So you see how with my back, I've basically just drawn my shoulder blades backwards and then I've pulled them down. Can you actually see that? So just try that for me, guys. Yeah, and remember that knee is going into your back at some point today. Yeah? Cool. Feel it? So you feel like a pinch in the middle part of the back. Yeah? Okay, so would you mind moving that backwards for me? So final lift of the day is obviously your deadlift. So with your... Do you want me to do this one, yeah? Yeah? Okay. So with your deadlift, your unpopular opinion, it's not a pull. It's actually a push through your legs. Do you smack your face? You okay? Bobby.
Sorry, it's not funny.
He needs to... Are you okay?
Gym's a dangerous place.
Always watch me. Oh no, he's had many of those. So with your... he wants to take a minute. Do you need a minute? You're fine. Fine. I'm fine. So with your deadlift, it's not solely a pull. You are leg pressing that weight away from you. Okay? That's really, really important. You're literally leg pressing the floor away from you. Okay, talk to me, guys. Common things that you fear or you get wrong with your deadlift, and we'll break them down. Hurt my back. What else? Tipping forward. Okay, yeah. What else? The fuck, it's heavy every single time you go to even touch the bar. And I would also say yanking the bar off the floor. Okay, so like that yank. So like the tipping forward is a real big one, okay? So how are we gonna fix that? Like when we are deadlifting, the first and foremost thing is your hips want to be hip width apart. So I say this every time, but your hips are not here, ladies. I don't know why. The girls like to think that their hips are like this wide and then their knees are doing this. Your legs are going directly underneath your hip bones, yeah? And your bar wants to be over the midpoint of your foot, okay? Because what's going to happen when I lean down to touch the bar is my shins travel forward, okay? So no point starting here and then coming down for it, because secondly, if you start here, you've got to roll that bar in, which is going to put pressure on your lower back to even break the floor, okay? So when we're in this position here, I would say one hand one way, one hand the other. And there is also chalk around as well, because it's going to be quite sweaty in here today, isn't it? So that's going to help you with your grip. One hand one way, one hand the other is going to stop that bar falling out of your hands, okay? The second thing is you are reaching for a seat that's not there, okay? So you're hip hinging and sitting down. And that then is going to stop this from happening. And you're not squatting the bar off the floor, yeah? So when you're going down, we need to have a neutral spine. So the shoulders are back and the chest, and you're pulling them down the body. Notice everything we've done today is like chest up, shoulders back. It's all postural work, okay? Hence why we're always programming loads and loads of back stuff for you, because we're trying to improve your posture. So you come down, chest is up, shoulders are back and down. As you then hold onto the bar, you're not just gonna rip it off the floor, okay? You're literally gonna take a breath in, pull against the bar, push through the legs. So you've got to think about that as like two movements. Pull first, push. And then what that's going to do is stop this happening. I felt that through my entire body, including my bun. Did you see how much my bun moved when I did that? Like, look. Because my whole body jolted. Yeah, whereas when I'm doing this, nothing moves but my legs. I'm just pushing through my legs. Imagine how much my bun moves. This is a fucking brilliant analogy. Imagine how much my bun moves. Imagine what you're doing to your spine when you're yanking that off the floor. The impact that you're putting through your body. That bit is probably the most important thing that I talk through today. Because as it gets heavier, we forget about any of that and we just go, fuck, this is going to be heavy. I've just got to lift it. Okay, so you've got to be present in what you're doing. Deadlifts don't hurt your back. Your inability to be present does. because you're bracing the core, you're protecting yourself. There's no reason why that should hurt you. The tipping forward, Stu, your favourite. So when you guys tip forward, what happens 9 times out of 10 is the bum's too low. So right here, I'm so off balance, but what has to happen for me to lift off the floor is 1, 2, okay? And what's happened when I've done that? Can anybody tell me what they saw there? Sorry? Okay, so I was, do it again. Do it again. Okay, so I'm really, really low. Okay, ready again? Oh, hang on, I've got to do it.
Your hips are flying up first before you're actually taking the tension out of the bar, so lift it up.
So when my hips fly up, what happens? Where's the bar? Where was the bar? Let me show you again how far away the bar was from my legs. Watch me do it properly. So here. Yeah. The bar is literally greasing up my legs. Yeah, it's literally coming straight up them. That bar needs to stay close to the body because that is your central point of gravity. That is not you putting any pressure on your back. It's not you putting any pressure on your body. It should just fly up. When we tip forward, the whole body weight moves forward. That then puts the center of gravity here. So where's the pressure then going to go? Into your lower back, okay? To fix that, you've just got to lift that bum up just a little bit higher, and then you're pushing through those legs again. It's going back to that legs. The final thing is, so what happens if something does go wrong and you do feel a tweak? So I'm here. It's that simple. Just put the bar down. Do not try and check in with yourself and think, oh, was that a thing? Just put it down. It's not worth the risk of trying to do it and then doing yourself a damage, okay? It's that simple, just put the bar down. No matter, even if you're like up here, and you can step backwards, okay? Any questions on deadlifting? No? Cool. The last thing I wanted to cover off was around warm-ups. There's been a couple of you recently that have just been going into your sessions and just lifting your maximum weight straight away. You need to be warming up. And that is over to you. Del Boy's going to talk through the benefits of your warm-up. Here you go. There's a little mic and everything. I'm going to sit down. Do you want me to stand up here for moral support?
Why not?
Okay.
Cool. We're going to get straight into it, aren't we? To a warm-up.
Do you want to talk through the benefits of warm-up as well?
Yeah, so benefits of the warm-up. So, oh my God. So obviously injury prevention, we want to get ourselves ready for some exercise. We want to get some blood flow going. We want to check in with our body and see how we're feeling that day, if we're ready to lift some big weights. Number 2, we want to start focusing on our session, deciding what we're actually got to there to do and actually leaving what you've done in a day behind because you've got an hour for yourself. Yeah, we're going to get into it. So if we can all spread out on the floor. I'm going to move this camera. We're going to start with some core activation. Everyone who's joined us will have heard of the McGill Big 3. There are key 3 exercises. We didn't make them up. They were by someone smarter than us called Dr. Stuart McGill. So we're going to start by lying on the floor. And we're going to go into a curl up. We're going to do 10 reps on each side. So we're going to lie down on the floor. We're going to keep our hands supporting our spine, and we're going to keep our knees bent. We're going to also keep our head nice and raised, and we're going to start by extending our right foot. And we're going to start by trying to feel this in our abs. Yeah, we don't want to just use our hip flexor. We want to actually use our lower abdomen. We're going to hold this here for 10 seconds. And if after a little while you should start to feel a little bit of a shake if you're actually working. Right, let's switch sides. Make sure you're breathing throughout this as well. We're not holding our breaths. We need to actually have some oxygen. Oh, we can all breathe. Right, going to move into a side plank now. So we're going to work. Yeah. So pick a side. Gonna lie on our sides. We're then gonna raise up our hips and feel that in our obliques. Get a nice hold there. That's it. If you want to make it harder, you can put your hand up. Just working on balance and a nice endurance in our obliques. Should be getting a nice little shake now. Moving on to the next one, bird dogs. We all heard of bird dogs. So it's going to be working our ab region. It's also going to be working on our coordination. So we're going to start on all fours. Opposite hands to each other. Did I say left and left?
No, you said both hands.
Okay, that's the challenging version.
What you're also doing as well is you actually want your hips to be in line. So drop that shoulder. That's it. So you're actually aiming to have optimal, like straightness. That's a terrible word. But you want to be straight through your back. Like you don't want to be dropping. So you need to lift that pelvic floor up back, not dumping into your back. Lift your hips up. Your body should be straight. Okay.
Kate's going to straighten everyone out, and then we're going to move in a minute. Is everyone straight, Kate? Right, rest. Onto your backs. Going to wake up our glutes.
Sounds like it's military, doesn't it?
Right, we're going to do some glute bridges. So, straight on your back, arms bent. Keep your heels by your bum. We're then going to contract our glutes and get a nice hold.
Guys, if you're not feeling this in the glutes, can you let me know? Put a wave up. Don't scared.
Nice, okay, so let's talk about bracing our core. So we want to control our breath when we're lifting to not only ensure we can actually, we've got the energy to lift, but we also want to make sure we're protecting our backs. So when we're setting up for our squats, we're going to brace our core before we lift the weight. We're going to do that by taking a deep breath down into our diaphragm and not lifting it upwards into our chest. We want to protect, we're going to feel this abdominal cavity with air.
I'm just taking those breaths now, guys, as he's talking. Stand up, guys, and just try and really, when you're taking a breath in, push it downwards into the lower part of the diaphragm.
You're then going to step out with the weight, you're going to release that breath, and then you're going to reset your brace again. So you're going to take a deep breath down, and like someone's going to punch you in the stomach. You want to make sure your abs are nice and tight. So imagine that. Yeah, real tight. Yeah, all good.
So when you're doing your actual exercise, guys, you're breathing in at the top, holding that breath, letting it out, reset. It's a moment of presence. It's a moment to protect yourself. It's a moment to get rid of all those negative thoughts about how heavy this is. When you pick the bar up, you're thinking strong thoughts. You're not thinking negative thoughts. Your mindset is so powerful. Okay, and then if you're benching, you're here. Yeah, everything, your breath and your brace is held for the work. Deadlift. Okay, any questions?
Go on, Harj. PB on camera here.